Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for the latest aliens and UFOs encounters video. I thought I would mix another one of these in here, mainly because I came across this entry very bizarrely in the world of the paranormal. When I was reading the information linked to it, I kept scratching my head because there's so many things that are linked instead to the world of alien UFOs. I mean, at one point, the entity that I'm about to describe here in a moment actually beams down from a UFO. I mean, you can't get more direct than that. There's no official name like user ID or whoever gave this. Instead, it's about a man by the name of Mike and the encounter that he had with this very strange entity. In fact, you're looking at a representation of it here. The title of it is called The Man of Smoke, and here's what he states. It was nighttime in the winter, and the moon was out and very bright in the clear sky. I live alone, and my street is a dead end, and there is quite a bit of space between the houses. I like this area because I prefer my privacy, but that night I wish I had a greater number of neighbors so I could call them to come and see this thing. So I went outside to get some air and clear my head because I was working on this project for IBM, which was designing a power relay station for one of their main computer rooms. And it was starting to get to me because I couldn't figure out how the wires should go through the junctions without burning the whole building down. So I went outside and looked up and saw a dark cigar-like object in the sky hanging there like a giant blimp with no lights. At first, that's what I thought it was. I said, a blimp. It was right above my yard and not that high. So I said to myself, what the hell is this guy doing just hanging in the sky with no lights? And then all of a sudden, there was a flash of pink light, and in my yard was this figure that looked like a man made of smoke. I have about an acre in my front yard, so he was pretty far away, but I could still make him out. He looked like he was made of gray smoke, and his form was being illuminated by the moon. At that point, I don't know what happened to the object in the sky, since my eyes were transfixed on the man or whatever it was, but it was slowly walking towards my front door. I then heard the dogs in the neighborhood start howling and barking, and this figure kept walking towards me. I called out, "Can I help you?" And this thing was now less than 100 feet in front of me and still getting closer. It looked just like a man made of smoke. It was about 7 feet tall, very slim. I could see no face or hands, just arms, head, legs, and a body. So I quickly went back into the house and closed the door and pulled down the shades. Then the lights went out, and that really freaked me out. I went to the phone to call the police, but the phone was dead. Then all of a sudden there was a pounding on the door and on the walls of my home. The pounding was so loud and strong that things were flying off the shelf I had in the living room. I ran upstairs and got a baseball bat to protect myself, and as I was walking back down the stairs, I heard what sounded like voices in the living room. I could not understand what they were saying. It sounded like a chant or a prayer in some strange language. I went downstairs and yelled, swinging that bat as I walked into the living room, knocking lamps and breaking my television in the process. Then all of a sudden the voices stopped, the lights went back on. I was still shaking, so I grabbed for the phone, and now, thank God it was working. I called the police. The 2 officers came over in about 10 minutes and they took a report. I could tell that the officers did not believe me, and they asked me if I was drinking or did drugs. I've never seen a ghost or had anything happen to me that was supernatural or whatever, but this changed my mind and made me realize that we are not the only living beings sharing this planet. Then that's it. That's everything associated with this encounter from Mike. I wanted to provide a little bit of info about him too. He's 50 years old. Apparently, this incident happened on December 20th, 2003. So 50 years old at the time, that would make him almost 70 years old today. And this was in Litchfield, which is associated there in California. So let's talk about his experience here. Creepy stuff, right? He just happened to go right outside in the dead of night after working on that project for IBM. He needed a break. And right then when he went outside, that's when he looked up and he saw that UFO. It was almost like a cigar-like object. He even thought it was at first, thinking, of course, it can't be UFO. Let's think rationally. He's thinking that it was a giant blimp. It just didn't happen to have any lights, which didn't make sense to him. Him working at IBM, you could just tell that he has that mind that just analyzes things automatically. Like he sees something like this, it's a blimp, but no lights. What's the purpose? How dangerous is that? What a fool, and so on. But then it starts dawning on him, that ain't a blimp. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's this flash of pink light, and then now this man made of smoke is there. Very little info though was given about this man, other than the fact he was 7 feet tall, very slim, and obviously he was completely made of smoke. So nothing really discernible, I guess, like anything involving his body or the skin associated with his body, but who knows? Maybe it was there, but it was all the smoke that was covering it. And all the while, it was slowly but surely going towards him. Thankfully, nothing seemed to be bad per se. We don't know because it never got the chance to get that far. He obviously ran inside and pulled down the shades, and then that's when the house, all the power went out. But who knows what could have happened if he was there and he met this man of smoke. Was this man of smoke going to abduct him, take him back up the UFO? Was it going to do something harmful to him right then and there, right in that house, or in this case, the yard, and so on? Whatever it was now pounding on the door and simultaneously on the walls so fast, so hard that it was making things fly off the shelves. Finally, this guy Mike had enough. He went upstairs and then got that bat and then started swinging downstairs. The part that really creeped me out were those chants. That is some freaky stuff. The idea that some noise, some chants or voices are coming out of nowhere, but they seem to be coming everywhere within that living room. That is scary, scary stuff. Who knows what that's associated with, but that would definitely make me unsettled, probably more than the vision of this man of smoke doing something there. So that was it. Once he came down, and then it seemed like that shaking stopped, the noises stopped. Called the police. They obviously didn't believe him, and then he didn't have any other encounter that it seems like. Unfortunately, there's no comments, nothing else in terms of follow-ups from this man Mike, but let me know what you guys and gals think. A 50-year-old Mike, and he was an electrical engineer from IBM having this experience. Do you believe him? Do you think it was aliens, UFO? Was it something else? Was it truly paranormal based on where it was posted originally? Let me know what your comments are. All right, everybody, thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.